Tractorchute wasn't born yesterday, nor was I born on the Skye top roof. He's back with another Silver League superheroes, one of my favorites to cast. Love the Silver Leaguers. Here we go in the bottom right-hand corner. It's the man we've come to know and love. It is Firewalker playing for Team Copper as the blue Protoss. In the lower left-hand corner, we have the red Terran being played by the man from up above. It is Skye. I do want to remind you of Challenge Friday. Make sure that you build yourself a command center, a nexus, or a hatchery, depending on which race you are. Rally some of your workers over to the opponent's main base. Make sure the first one gets rallied over there by the 10-minute mark, and rally 25 other ones throughout the entire game and get the win. And submit it to Challenge Friday at tractorchute@gmail.com. Win or lose, submit it. It'll get casted either way there. You can even build a proxy, or not a proxy, sorry, a macro building their hatchery / command center / nexus to send those babies over there. I don't care how you do it, just make sure the first one gets hit up by the 10-minute mark and the rest get hit up 25 altogether. Going to your opponent's main base. Doesn't matter if they don't make it all the way, as long as they get rallied over there, we'll keep an eye on the count. The more the merrier, could possibly help you in your score as well here. Does look like our good man Firewalker is going to do a little bit of scouting. We'll take a look at the APM so I can prove to you they're Silver Leaguers, but Skye would like to prove me wrong. Look at that, baby. 96, making Firewalker look like the turtle on steroids. Here we go, pulling up our good old production tab here. It does look like the standard wall off is going to go down for Skye here. Meanwhile, our good man Firewalker is going to take the shortcut up and down that ramp. That probe is one smart-ass son of a bitch. And down the other end here, we do have ourselves a gateway going down with a one gas. Going to get some gas nice and early for our good man Firewalker. Is he going to get that wall off in time? It does not look like it. Firewalker is going to have free reign if he chooses to get up here. He's going to see what's going on. It does look like one early gas for his opponent. Leads me to believe some early pressures coming his way. Going to get that reactor probably going, or going to get out an early Reaper to put on some harassment here. Either way, he doesn't like to have that probe in his base. He wants to get him out of there, but Firewalker is going to get down there in time to scout that gas. Very well done. That should help him out quite a bit here. Are we going to get that early reactor out? Here we're going to find out. No, it's actually going to be a Marine first. Very, very surprising, but either way, usually that's what you're going to see with first gas, but not going to do it this time. But also has a nice orbital command, basically bang on time, about 3-minute marks, but when you want to start that, so not too bad there. And of course the standard mineral line wall off by Firewalker here. Do like to see that. Seen it more and more nowadays, it feels like here. Cybercore is going to go down with the gateway there. Did he actually end up losing that probe there? I can't imagine that probe would have survived here. It is back there. Does get a pylon down. So being a little bit of a nuisance. I always recommend this, especially when you're playing as a Protoss unit there. So does lose the probe. We'll get the cancel on the pylon, I would have to imagine here. This Marine's done his work, but he says, I'm going to help you little sons of guns out here. Does cancel it just in time as it was forming into that beautiful looking pylon you've seen coming up here. And going to continue to put some Marines out here. So not too bad. You can see just by the look of the supply depot skin, he does play a lot of Terran, has him leveled up pretty high. And the Expo going out by Firewalker. Very, very smart with the intel he did get. That is pretty intelligent move to put that down. Realizes probably not going to be a lot of pressure without the reactor on that barracks there. And also had the full wall off, which is also another thing that would lead you to believe that. Not entirely the case every time, but the fact that he only had the one barracks down and a full wall off and no reactor, definitely probably part of the reason he built that expansion. And here we go, going to get that down early for Forge. So maybe he's a little bit scared, maybe wants to get a couple pylons down. He is getting that warp gate technology out with the second gas going down as well. Here at the other end, we are pumping out Marines one by one in a rally lineup and going to go with the factory straight to starport. Going to run a 1-1-1 build. Could be looking to get some Banshees nice and early here. A lot of times that is what you'll see with this type of build, but it's going to get some Widow Mines out as well here. There's the Mules going down, so like I say, this guy is a pretty decent Terran player. So not too surprised so far out of what he's doing here. Warp gate technology, about 3/4 of the way done there. And that Forge is going to finish up fairly quick here. If you take a look at the units tab, we just have the 5 Marines on the court and also have 1 mothership core. So not too shabby so far here. APM is proven to be nice here. And we are actually going to get single medevacs. So apparently he does not believe in add-ons at all. Doesn't have any for the barracks, doesn't have any for the starport, does not have any for the factory, and is also getting out a second barracks. Has a Widow Mine standing around. Wouldn't mind seeing that being dropped on the ramp of the natural here. And apparently Rambo plays for Team Skye. Rambo's going to be moving his way out here. He's got his pretty sick-looking machine gun in his hand here. Doesn't have a shield because Rambo doesn't use frickin' shields. He's going to get right up that ramp there, and he's going to do a lot of damage. I can only imagine how much just one Marine is going to do here. The rest of the Marines are staying at home. They're all going for coffee break. I forget this. We're actually going to load up in the medevac, fly across the map. So maybe that was the idea, going to get the scouting Marine over there. So actually, this man may be smarter than I think, like I say. He is the man from up above. He is Skye. Firewalker's flying back to his base here, as I do believe he did see that Marine standing outside. Let's actually take a look here. Yes, he did. He knows exactly where that Marine is standing outside there. In the meantime, we do have a medevac full of Marines here. Maybe it's a party there. He's got some Marines and a Widow Mine up there. A little bit of party going on. And a command center going down as well here. He's going to get down the 3rd barracks. So very good build so far. Still a little bit surprised we don't have any add-ons to any of these buildings. But he could be unaware there are add-ons. He could actually got himself up to level 50, whatever it takes to get that skin, without building one add-on, which would be darn impressive if you ask me. So he's going to fly out here. Does have 3 Marines in there, 4 Marines in there, so 7 Marines and 2 Widow Mines there. There's the Marine. Going to end up going down there, but he does realize there's nothing at the front entrance, so if he does want to fly around that way, he definitely can. But he's actually going to go into the back of the main base here, and there are no pylons down. But in fact, he does have the 2nd and 3rd gateway coming down with the Twilight Council. I'm going to get into a temporary archives. Here we go. This could actually be a lot of damage here, and the cannon was going to go down, but he actually elected not to build, it looks like. So very, very smart. There's one Widow Mine in a very good spot. There's another Widow Mine. Oh, Firewalker, you might want to get your sun gun butt out of there. Oh, it gets another one there. Not too bad. It was a little bit of waste, but at the same time, that's a lot of Marines to be fending off here. They're really going to do a lot of damage here. All of them are going to transfer down there. Firewalker's got to get up there for a photon overcharge. Otherwise, he is going to be down and out early in this game here. He's going to work on the assimilator. Very smart move there. I wouldn't mind seeing him take out the mining probes as well here. Would be a fairly intelligent move, but at the same time here, what is Firewalker doing? He's got almost 200 worth of energy here. He is actually elected to build some cannons to kind of, I don't know if he's trying to, what's that word I'm looking for? Trying to trap his opponent there at the back of his base, but at the same time, he's got the photon overcharge, and it could fend off the rest of these Marines here. So very, very surprised we're not seeing that come out of him here. And there we go. They're actually going to start working on every pylon they can. They're going to power everything. They should go after that Stalker, though, very quickly. Was very smart. Or at least get him over to the Widow Mine. So not a bad move there. Now they're going to work on the Nexus. There's nothing Firewalker can do. He's got to get that that photon overcharge down there. Maybe he doesn't know what a photon overcharge is. I'm not entirely sure. I'd hate to negate his intelligence, but I have no idea what he's doing here. These Stalkers are going to get right in range here, and very good vision. That cannon must be right on the verge of giving him vision there. They're trying to walk him in a little bit closer here, trying to trick him here, but I think Firewalker's too good for that game here. So Firewalker's going to try and fend him off at the same time. And this is where a lot of lower leagues lack, is they don't macro. As you can see, he's got nothing back at the base here. Absolutely nothing. Basically, everything he has is over here. Because he's not macroing up, he could have a ton of Marines waiting there and could have finished this game realistically. But like I say, in the lower leagues, it's tough to do. And like I say, everybody learns at their own pace. And that's what I like about Silver League superheroes, is they're even. They're very even matchups a lot of time there. So a lot of times you're not going to see, you know, that same thing. Firewalker might not macro as well when he's doing an attack. So there you go. That evens each other out. And if he gets a kill in this Nexus, that's going to be devastating to Firewalker. I do realize he is mining the heck out of this one down here and on the double gas and planting down cannons. But at the same time, you can't really afford to lose a whole Nexus. And that's exactly what's going to happen here. Not good at all. Still has that Widow Mine up, and nobody's got vision on that Widow Mine. So that Widow Mine will take out a Stalker one shot. And it might actually do so if Firewalker doesn't get out of there. And there we go. They're continually trying to bag him into here. Firewalker's actually going to stand where the Nexus is, look at the remnants, and say, damn, that sucks. And here we go. Add-ons are there. Actually has his stim pack out. Doesn't have combat shield researching at all, but has the reactor over at the starport, so he can start spitting out a lot more medevacs. But like I say, he's got to start working on his macro game. He could have this game finished, but that being said there, like I say, all he's got is, what does he have around here? 2 Marines? A lot of workers, which he's doing really good, almost fully saturated there. And everybody just standing in Firewalker's base, just random Marines everywhere. That does have a couple of Marauders. If he brought all these units over, put them in the back with these guys here, it could actually be pretty devastating, but I don't think he has any medevacs over here. No, just the 2 on the field here. And all these guys are just standing around. I'm not entirely sure if he thinks Firewalker's going to walk in there and basically massacre himself on that Widow Mine. But either way, Firewalker playing a smart game. He's actually going to plant the temporal archives on the bottom there, so not a bad move there. Getting Zealot legs, very, very smart. There's the Widow Mine going to reburrow himself right up where... Oh, no, he's actually loading up. No, this could be deadly here. Oh, good thing they got jetpacks on those. They're going to run into a cannon. Is he going to get out of here? He's going to be very close. He's going to run into more cannons down here if he doesn't drop in the right spot here. And this actually might not be good. That cannon needs 2 more shots, I do believe here. There's... Oh, no, you were kidding me, son. Why? Oh, why would you do that? There he goes, devastated. Now he realized Firewalker's got his third up. So Firewalker wasn't giving up at all. He's actually continuing to get another base out. Very, very smart, continuing to build. And at the same time, he's going to come back and look at his base and say, what in the hell was I doing? He's got a whopping 2 medevacs out, a couple Marauders, and 4 whole Marines, and the Marines are scattered everywhere here. That was absolutely devastating. Not the best of attacks. Like I say, he probably had this game, but now we're starting to see where the skill lies. And the skill lies in my man, Firewalker. Wow, Team Copper, you impress me every day. And that Nexus is going to finish up there, and Firewalker is actually going to push out with this. He does have 5 Stalkers, and they could do a fair bit of damage here. But with those Marauders, there's a bit bigger Marauder count. The 4 Marauders with the Marines should easily fend this off here. And they do also have their stim pack. No concussive slow or no combat shield. A little bit surprising there. Is getting out his 4th, 5th barrack. Holy Christ, he is not fooling around the other end here. He did have a very high bankroll. That is a lot of barracks here. Let's see if we can get a count on that. We do have 3, 6, and 8 barracks on the field here. Firewalker's going to try to push out. Needs to get out of there. You got to realize this fight's not going to happen. Get out of there. He's going to get 1 Marauder kill. Apparently really wanted that Marauder kill, but it is going to cost him pretty much all of his Stalkers. There's a huge stim, and they are going to catch up to him very easily here. Here's where he would have liked to have Marauders full, but either way, Firewalker was pretty much toast there. That's not good for him. Firewalker, what is he riding on? 3, 4 gate now. So finally getting out his 4th gate. Also has that Temporal Archives down. Does have Storm Research, so he is, and Zealot Leg. So we're basically going to get into a Templar or a High Templar / Zealot type build here with some supporting Stalkers. So a lot of gateway units here, but he does have a Robo Facility coming out as well here. So not that bad. Both these guys are going to macro up a fair bit. We can probably speed this son of a gun up here, and that is a lot of tech labs here. So he's going basically straight into Marauder type build here, and just straight Marauders with very few Marines, which a lot of people will do when you play Protoss, because Marauders are devastating against Protoss, and they're even more devastating with what has come up here, and that is right there. Concussive shells. That is what is pretty much going to make this game a very hard thing for Firewalker to contend with. As long as he gets that storm out, though, he might be all right. Might actually make it a little bit more even there. And look at that. It does have out himself 3 and 6 and 1 is 7. He's got himself 7 medevacs out there, 14 Marauders, and 8 Marines on the field here. Meanwhile, Firewalker at the other end does start getting some Templars out there. Does have his 3 Templars on the field with his 4 Zealots and his 1 Stalker here. His 116 to 75 as far as the food count goes. Both these guys doing very, very well. Firewalker, of course, is going to be up here now. He does have that 3rd out here. And in the meantime, it does look like his opponent is finally, looks like he's going to move out here. Has a very good medevac count to his units here. So that's a plenty medevacs. If anything, he's maybe got 2 or 3 extras there. But either way, might be looking to do a drop, or he might actually just walk across the map this time here. Firewalker is getting some more gateways out here. Has a 5th gateway going there. There's the Robo Facility down. And we are getting the 3rd base out of his opponent, Skye, here. So both these guys doing very good in the macro game here. And like I say, we could probably let this thing ride on 2 times for quite a while here, as I do believe we are going to turtle up for a little while. And that is one massive Marauder army here. 35 Marauders altogether. If Firewalker did elect to go air, this would be absolutely devastating here. But at the same time, his opponent hasn't seen anything to lead him to believe that's going to happen. Firewalker getting off a bit of a scout. He's got to kind of know how many bases his opponent's on. He's got to get that intel back, because if you're going to turtle, you always want to at least have the intel what your opponent's going, so that way when you guys do clash with the 200 army, which is what we might see here, you will have that advantage there. And there we go, another orbital command. Very smart by Skye. I must say, he is very impressive with the fact that he is getting those out right away, and they're Hellbats too, so he's going for a very ground armor heavy unit build here. So Firewalker might want to actually start looking at getting into air, or at the very least might want to start getting some Colossi out, because they would be exactly what he needs to counter this. Does actually get a Warp Prism out there. I'm sure I missed some sort of attack in the back here, but either way, I do apologize if that was the case here. But Firewalker is going to fly up here. He does know where that 3rd is here. And he's actually going to use the patrol points just to make sure there's nothing else building around there. If we follow them around here, they will come somewhere over here, I would have to imagine here, right about there. So that will allow them to drop into the back of this base, but that is a ton of mules. You want to look at that income tab there? Wow, 2,200. Well, they're actually fairly even, surprisingly enough here. Of course, Firewalker did have his up much earlier there, so obviously probably has a heavier probe count on it here. And does look like he is going to get in there. Don't think he has Darkies. No, he is going into Archons here, so no Darkies as of yet here. Pulling up production tab, upgrades like crazy. I love to see it. Skye is actually pretty good. You know, he might not look that good with the drop in the beginning with his micro-macro type game there, but he is actually a half-decent player, doing a very good army composition, very good upgrades. And like I say, he's doing really good, getting the 2nd army out there so he can get those upgrades going. Ground level 2, and also ground armor. So basically, ground weapon 2, ground armor 3. Firewalker doing well. Both of these guys, like I say, fairly even. That's what I love about Silver League superheroes. Like I say again, I do have a fairly big bank of replays, but if there are any yours you have sent and I have not casted, it's only probably due to the fact that I have forgotten them, so make sure you send me a reminder. Send me lots of replays. Still don't have any more for Banyo and Sage, but I do have a couple 2v2s that could definitely go up, so I will entertain you that way. I do know Sage is on a trip right now. I do believe he is in New Zealand, so I must say I hope you enjoy your trip, my good friend. Can't wait to see some more games out of you guys here. Do have 4 Vikings on the field. I think he's more or less making sure there aren't any Colossi out there. And like I said, that is the 200 food count. And if that means anything to any bronze or silver player, it means it is finally time to move out. So here we go. If you don't get the quick win in your bronze or silver, usually you turtle up like this. But like I say, both these guys fairly skilled for the lack of aggressiveness. I will say that. So he's going to head right up here. Very good scan there. Realize that base is there. It should lead Firewalker to believe that's where the army's going to go. So he has 2 choices. He either goes up here, tries to defend this, decides to lose this, or he attacks his opponent. That is 3 different choices here. And here we go. We'll actually elect to lose this base here, as I don't believe there's anything to do here. Although he could look at getting some darkies, but at the same time, when you're playing Terran, they can scan so easily. It's not exactly the best unit composition to put them in your army at all. But either way, we're going to melt away at this. There's a lot of DPS going to work there. Has the 2-2 set up for them there. And for his Hellbats, has the 0-1. And here we go. Now the army's getting up there. There's a lot for Zealot legs. Also has 2-1 here. So here we go. Needs to get those Zealots up there. Really wants to get those Archons in there too as well. They're doing a lot of damage here. Needs some Storms. There's the Storms. Got his opponent trapped in the ramp there. Very good. Those Storms are what's going to win the game here. Needs to get those down. 1 Viking, 2 Viking, 3, 4 Vikings all go down here. Of course, they weren't doing a whole lot, the Vikings at all here, but Archons are going to try and melt away as much as they can here. Firewalker needs to start dropping down some more Storms here, otherwise his army's going to get up here and they're going to stim the heck out of him here and really melt away. Wow, that's a lot of observers. We're not entirely sure why we have that many observers when none of them get vision. Firewalker might be in a lot of trouble here. This is big trouble. He's taking out his army. At the same time, they are almost even in food count, only like a 17-point difference there. And Firewalker in great big trouble here, is getting all of his probes out here. Not too sure why he's retreating. What did he see? Apparently something scared him. I'm not entirely sure what it is here. Very, very baffled. Maybe his opponent's not partially retarded as he is heading way out of here. Not too sure why he didn't pressure that. At the same time, it does look like Firewalker's moving the rest of his probes out here. They're all going to attack on that great big beefy pile there. I'd have to imagine he is really having a very good macro game. Has a very big bankroll. I'd like to see him with a lot more gateways though. If you're going to go gateway unit and you have that many bases, that big of a bankroll, run yourself with at least 12 to 13 of these babies here. Instead, he has about 8 on the field, which isn't a bad count by no means, but at the same time, he's only got 1 supporting robo facility, so not a lot of production buildings out of him here. Actually, he might have more gateways than I thought here. So I do apologize there. Actually has 10 on the building, or on the map here. And his opponent, I don't know if his opponent is toying with him. I'm almost thinking this might be one of those games that you almost want to cheer for what appears to be the underdog in Firewalker, because he is toying with him. There's no way he left that for no reason here, unless I'm missing something. If I am, put it in the comments. I'm not too sure why he left that. It couldn't have been the lack of cannons that weren't really powered. I can't see why he would have left, but he is macroing like crazy here. Look at the bases here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases for him. Firewalker sitting on 1, 2, 3, 4. And like I say, the opponent, I really think, wanted to toy with him as he backs right off there. At the same time, now Firewalker knows what he needs here. He really needs a lot more Templars to get a lot more Storms down. He could have massacred that army if he's dropping Storms. I think he only dropped like 2 Storms there. So it wasn't very high in the Storm count there. But either way, both these guys are going to sit here and probably speed this right back up to 2 times. Still getting Vikings. Yep, a little bit baffled on that one, my good man Skye, but your name is Skye. I guess you got to represent the Skye. There you go. So still building Vikings. They're not really doing a whole lot as Firewalker doesn't have anything in the air other than the Warp Prisms and the Observers, of course. Here we can probably ride this baby at 2 times for a little bit longer here, as all these guys seem to be sitting back almost at 200 food, which will be the key sign to move out here. There we go. 3 upgrades over there. And Firewalker in the meantime, he's working on his 3rd here. Of course, he's got the extra shield to work on as well there. And we also are getting the Terran ship level, trying to get that up as high as you can here. And are these the gateways I wished for? Yes, they are. Firewalker's like you read my mind. Get down some more gateways, son. And here we go. It is apparently 182. We're not moving out at 200 this time. This man's going to move across with this very hefty ground army. A little bit surprised Firewalker. Not that he had a lot of time to think. Didn't know when his opponent was coming back. Didn't plant down like 5 Stargates and just go with the air units here. But either way, they're going to come back in with this very massive ground army here. They're actually going to go right back up to the base they killed before, make sure it's not there. Firewalker will now get the vision. He sees where they are, so not too bad. That's actually a blessing in disguise for him that his opponent went up there. So now he's got to position himself exactly where he needs to be, try and get the best angle he can, and get ready to drop those Storms left, right, and center. And in fact, he has actually surpassed them in food count. Like I say, the macro game of Skye would be the only thing I can say is lacking. He's very good at the upgrades, but at certain parts of his macro just aren't there yet. And here we go. They're going to come up here and destroy the space quite easy. I don't think Firewalker's going to want to engage and give them the high ground here. But either way, it does look like he has a lot of long-distance miners there. And here he goes. I don't know if he has the army for this here. It doesn't look like the best composition for him. He might want to get himself a lot of storms planted down right here, because that's really his only hope for this here. But at the same time, he does have the 200 food out there, so we'll soon find out. I wouldn't mind seeing the food not being wasted on warp prisms and observers, but either way, his opponent still looks like he's almost trying to toy with him, going back and forth here, kind of pissing around for a little bit here, and will move himself down to the vision there, but he's not attacking, which is weird. He's basically keeping his opponent contained. And this is the reason I am pretty confident he's toying with Firewalker, because he's keeping him contained to those bases. Looking at the top. Oh, he is going to engage because he's forced to at this point in time here. And here we go. A couple good stims should melt these Zealots. Zealots are not the best against his army. I know he should definitely cut the production, but needs to get lots of storms. There we go. Storms left, right, and center here. Not too shabby. Might actually end up melting this army if he gets enough of these storms down here, but I don't think so. Barely ends up losing this here. Firewalker might just have enough of those Archons to finish the top here. They're trying to melt the rest of them here with that splash damage here and really doing decent. There's the Zealots to finish the army off. Like I said, his opponent's not doing anything back at base. And this is where the macro is going to come out for Firewalker. Said it from the beginning, and I think that's going to basically be the end. Look at his 126 to 76. I can't imagine Skye is going to come out of this here, but either way, we'll speed it back up to 2 times. Both these guys are going to sit back one more time here. Just look at the amount of bases, and yet his bankroll's not there at all. Very, very surprising here. Soon find out what Firewalker decides to do with this here, as he is going to sit back at his base at the same time here. Do believe everybody has every upgrade in the world you can get. Firewalker is just missing the ground shields, and there it is, ground shields level 3 there, and we are also getting the plate level 2, so he doesn't have all of his Hellbat upgrades either here. But either way here, it does look like Firewalker has determined it is time to move this army out with those Zealot legs and that amount of templates for Storm. He should be able to devastate Skye very easily here, but at the same time, we do have some planetaries down. As long as he doesn't run into the planetaries, he'll be all right. Excuse me, I could not hold that back here. And he is actually going to walk into the planetary first. And this actually might not be the best of engagements for him, especially with the Zealots, but he will have a lot of DPS. So he might actually end up being all right up here. Wouldn't mind seeing him send an observer in there first, just so he knows what he's walking into. It is actually back. We're back to pretty much even in food count again, 158 to 150. So not too shabby by both these guys here. There you go. Look at that. 34 and 47 against biological. Wowzer. And here we go. We are going to attack that planetary here. And he needs to really get on that big time there. Nobody to repair it. And we do get the stim, and the stim with the mass amount of marauders could be devastating. Needs to drop some storms, my good man. There we go. There's some storms coming out of him here. More charging in. Zealots need to drop more storms. He's got enough of those Templars in here, but they're just not dropping. Not entirely sure why. He's got another Templar there with some energy. There's another storm. There's the Archons. The Archons should be able to finish off a lot of this army here, but at the same time, they are surrounded by a ton of Hellbats here. Hellbats also have the blue flame here. So we'll try and melt as much as we can. There's the standalone Templar there. Won't be able to do a whole heck of a lot here. Proxy pylon at the other end here. And the proxies up here. His opponent is going to sit back here, try and rebuild this army up one more time. A lot of Hellbats going here. A little bit surprised we haven't quite got into an air type build. There is the vehicle weapon level 3 as well here. And of course the shield level 3 will go as well. And take a look at the army count. We do have the 11 Zealot warp in that we did get, with the 9 Marauders and the 8 Hellbats here. So he has really given up on any sort of anti-air type build here. Doesn't even have any Vikings on the map here. A lot of long distance miners for Firewalker here. This is actually going to be a fairly close game here, but when he did lose that planetary, he did rebuild. Here comes another orbital command coming down here. And not entirely sure which way it's going to go here. If I am going to put my money on this game, I am going to actually go with Skye. I just think he's too much of an army here, and I haven't seen the best of storms coming out of Firewalker. They have been decent, but they haven't been all that great, and he continues to build these Zealots, which isn't exactly the best, especially against a Marine slash Hellbat type army here. But either way here, we will sit back, relax, and see when it's time to move out again, boys. Does have a lot of Templars again. Basically what he's looking to do is save up the energy in these Templars here. As long as he has enough for one storm out of each of them, get them all up to 75, and he drops down, how many storms can he plant down here? 5 storms. Might end up being all right up here. He's going to go expand again here, try and get one of those top bases here. Opponent's going to move in here, and like I said, this looks absolutely devastating. Not entirely sure if Firewalker's going to have what it takes. Firewalker, if anything, might want to be on the high ground at this point in time, and does warp in a lot more. That's going to be very, very handy to him. Gets 25 Zealots on the map now, and to his 5 Templars. So will be very interesting once they do choose to engage here. He is looking at taking out that proxy pylon. We'll take out to hit this excuse me, this pile of debris at the same time here, so we can get that expansion up at least. Meanwhile, at the very top here, he does have this one very weakly mined here. Not very many people mining off of that there. So he's actually going to go around and kill the rest of these proxy pylons here, it does look like, as he is moving towards the top of the map here. Wouldn't mind seeing Firewalker maybe move towards his base here, maybe force him to fall back there. But either way, he's going to go right up and try and keep Firewalker contained, I think. He's going to go back and take out that top base if it is there. But does get the old proxy catcher. Not too bad there. Does end up taking that out there. Not too bad by him. And both these guys are almost back up to 400. At least at the very least, Firewalker's almost up to 400. There's a stim. Look at those Marauders run. Look like they just got a little pep in their step. They're going to go up here and take out these two straggling little probes here, and we might actually get our wish. Firewalker might run into his base and force his opponent to come back here. Will be very, very interesting. Get some more Archons out here. Always good to have at least 3 or 4 of them in your army here, especially when you're up against the Marauder slash Hellbat type build here. They're going to get up here, but at the same time, both these guys are going to be attacking each other's base here, and no planetary this time to deal with. There's a lot of charge lots in there. Those charge lots are really going to go to work here. Need to replenish that energy so they can charge into that massive amount of Marauders there. There's a nice storm by him. At the same time, his opponent is taking out that base here. So both of them exchanging one of their bases anyways here. Is going to sit back here. A lot of Marauders coming out. Very good storms we are starting to see now. Not too bad on the storm count. We'll massacre that army quite easily here. And they might actually start moving into the main here. This could be devastating. His opponent's going to fall back. Has no choice at this point in time other than fall back here. They're going to start taking out a lot of these production buildings. Very, very smart by Firewalker here. There we go. The battle cruisers are on the field now, so we'll need to start planting storms down. So one of the guys did tech up. Finally, I was waiting for someone to tech out of something here. At the same time, Archons are a high tech, so I will give you that to you, Firewalker. And Firewalker actually says GG. Doesn't like the looks of the battle cruiser, or is that an offense? Whoa! Someone stop that! What just happened? I'm not too sure if that was the most intelligent of moves here. He had $2,900 in the bank, had a lot of gateways down there. Not too sure why the quit. Either way, I am disappointed. My condolences to you, Firewalker. My congrats to you, Skye. Both of them played a really good game, and I actually would have been curious who would have won in the very end there. I realized what Firewalker was thinking with those battle cruisers might have scared him, but at the same time, he had enough Archons, and his opponent was falling back. Would have gave him enough time to warp back in at the main base and try and get a bigger army, maybe go into his starport type build. But either way, I'll give credit where credit is due, and congrats to you, Skye. I will leave you with this. Where the green grass grows, the orange pen ain't in sight, because I ain't planting none of that paper tree for you as long as I can see you're wearing my hat. Thanks so much for watching. You be good. Don't hurt nobody. Peace.